Good morning and welcome to the new West Ham show here on Claret and Booze. My name's Gary and I'll be doing the news every Tuesday morning. Very short show, just a few key points. I'll be doing it every Tuesday morning. My brother Nick will be doing it on Thursday. Again at the same time, probably around 6:30 a.m. If you're new to the channel, please have a look at what we do. We do mainly a Friday night show, which is the Claret and Booze Up. The clue's in the name. Get yourself a beer and come along and join in the chat. And then on Sunday night, we do the hangover. So if there's been a game at the weekend and we've got something to talk about, we'll do a hangover. Otherwise, we'll just keep our hangovers to ourselves. So we've got three stories to talk about today. We're going to start with Declan, who could be the new England captain, according to Gareth Southgate, very soon. And then we'll move on to David Moyes. Now, David Moyes wants money in the summer. Now, I could have told you that, but I find it interesting that he's actually, after he was very supportive of the board in January, that he's actually come out and been quite open about what he needs in the summer. And then the rumours, I think you'll all remember in the summer transfer window, or the disappointing summer transfer window and the winter transfer window, that Milenkovic was always, Nikola Milenkovic of Fiorentina was always linked with us. And once again, we are linked, and it looks kind of real this time. So, look, let's without further ado, let's move on. Let's talk about the first story. So, Declan Rice. Now, I think we all know as West Ham fans, we're people who watch Declan week in, week out. We know how good he is. We know how special he is. And I think now other people are starting to realise just how special he is as well. And look, let's be honest, he's taken himself year on year. He's improving his game. He's done it not only in the domestic league, where he often looks like, you know, the adult playing amongst a bunch of kids. He's also done it on the European stage in Europa League this year, you know, against some very good, high quality teams. He's dominated. And now he's doing it on the international stage as well. So it's kind of not surprising that people are noticing him. And his latest little, he was introduced in the 2-1 win against Switzerland. It was 1-1 last Saturday when he was brought on in the 61st minute for Conor Gallagher. Now, Conor Gallagher had a great game up until that point, and you know, Declan Rice came on. The team were struggling at the time defensively, and he came on and he completely solidified that team. Really strengthened the midfield, protected the back four. He was a real improvement. And Gareth Southgate after the game said he is exactly the right character who can be a future England captain. He was gushing with praise over Declan. Now, what it says to me is that Declan is going to suddenly find himself. You know, we know West Ham have rated him at 150 million. We know he's worth 150 million. At least he is to us. Now, I think doing it on a domestic, European, and international stage, it's going to suddenly get noticed, and that 150 million will start to look like a snip. So I expect a couple of bids this summer. I also expect West Ham to turn it down because it's too early for Deck to go. You know, I'd rather keep him another season and see where we are after that. We're going to have a big enough rebuilding job to do in the summer without having to fill the massive void left by Declan Rice. Let's just hope we can win that Europa League and give him his first trophy, a taste of success, and then he can lead us into the Champions League next year. I mean, that's like a dream outcome for all of us, right? Okay, so talking of the summer, David Moyes. So David Moyes, in an article in The Athletic, came out and said, amongst other things, he was talking about his time at Man United, and he's talking about managers' mental health because he was really under the cosh at Man United. Just imagine being given that job. And he was under the spotlight, you know, hundreds of thousands of supporters worldwide, massive focus, huge culture shock for him. He was only 10 months into that job when they kicked him out. Then he went on to Sunderland and Real Sociedad, where he didn't cover himself in glory. Then he came to West Ham, and at West Ham he had you know, a lot of success to my mind, and he was unlucky to lose his job for Pellegrini. I mean, really unlucky. And eventually it came good because David Sullivan was big enough to pick up the phone and invite him back. But he just wanted to make the point that for all those hard times, you know, where he could have started doubting himself, he had the backing of a very strong family, but he's not too proud to go and kind of relearn. He apparently sort of put himself back into training. He was observing a lot. He was trying to relearn his job, and I think you can see that in the improvement with David Moyes, because this is not the same David Moyes that Everton had, right? It's got some similar traits, for instance, in the transfer market, a bit frustrating at times, but that aside, this side has much more flair, and I'm hoping that that's the trend that's going to continue with David Moyes. He's actually come out and said, because he wants to build something, and I think he wants to build something bigger and better than he had at Everton. He wants to take it to the next level. In order to do that, he's got to spend money. Unlike what he said in the winter, where he completely backed and thanked the board for all their help in achieving 0 signings in the transfer window. Depends who you want to blame for that. Most people blame him. But nonetheless, he's changed his tune this time and saying, I need money if I'm going to do this rebuilding job, because we know in the summer 5 or 6 players are going to be needed. You're losing, to name but a few, Yarmolenko, Mark Noble, Ryan Fredericks, Arthur Masuaku, I think Ariola's loan ends. You're starting from 4 or 5 players behind just to reach where we are now. Now, I know those players are fringe players, but they've all played an important part in the season at certain points in time. So, there's a big rebuilding job to come on, and let's just hope that the new regime of Kretinsky with his low rate borrowing to the club will help us. It will help us and it will help him. But David Moyes has got to help himself as well. He's got to get some deals done. And I don't want to see another transfer window where we're waiting right until the end, right until the very end before something happens. The last 2 transfer windows have been, or last 3. If you think back to Jared Bowen, that was done in that was a season. The previous winter transfer window, that was done in the last couple of days. That business, Zuma was done in the last couple of days, and then we tried to do business in the last couple of days in the last window. I want to see an end to that. I don't mind doing some business late in the window just in case you can get yourself a nice bargain, but some of it's got to be done early. Especially when you need a number of players like we need. So please, board, give him the money. Please, Dave, get out and spend that money and do some good stuff with it. You've done very well with the money you've actually spent so far. You just ain't spent very much. So, moving on to the final story. So, Nikola Milenkovic. Now, this is someone who was linked with us from Fiorentina. Great left-sided centre-half. Exactly the position we need to fill, because even though Zuma's doing well in playing there just lately, he's not a left-sided centre-half. We need someone who can naturally play in that position. And Milenkovic ticks all the boxes for David Moyes. He's a very strong, tough, quick Serbian centre-half, good in the air, a very, very strong, dominant player. Now, he... towards the end of the winter window, he was he was about to run out of contracts in the summer. So basically, we could have got him for nothing in the summer. In the end, he signed a new contract with Fiorentina. And I thought it was a long contract, but it isn't. It was only a 1-year deal. And now there's rumours of a gentleman's agreement between him and the club and Fiorentina, in that he agreed to sign that deal so that they can get a fee for him in the summer. So effectively, he's agreed his exit. And there's a further rumour that says he's got a gentleman's agreement with West Ham, that he's going to come here. I mean, that's one of the positions we need to fill without a doubt. And I think Dawson and Zoom are doing fabulous. I think I've got my doubts about Diop, and I've also got my doubts as to whether Ogbonna, when he comes back, is going to be the same player. It's a serious knee injury he's had. Either way, we need reinforcements. We definitely need reinforcements, and this is the kind of guy that ticks all the boxes. Could solve a lot of problems for us. So yeah, that's it. Welcome Nikola Milenkovic, or maybe not. So that's it. That wraps up the news. This is the first of our very quick morning shows. Hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know what you think. What you think in the comments. Very interested. We read them all. And other than that, we will see you with Nick on Thursday. Have a nice Tuesday.